Pfaff is known for their decorative stitches, and an entire menu has been dedicated to a group of stitches called stacking stitches. So I'm going to show you how you find them, how you stitch them out, and how you could probably make your own stacking stitches as well. So this is from our Stitching Cosmos online course, where we do teach you tons of techniques. In this particular block, I was playing around with the double ribbon stitches, the piping, and stacking stitches. So we do about 25 different sewing techniques plus additional decorative stitches, because the Pfaff has them, and about 18 presser feet. So if you really want to master the sewing side of your machine, check out the free videos that we have linked below to the Pfaff Stitching Cosmos online course. You can check out the free videos and see if that course might be right for you. So if you come over here to Load Stitch across the top, you're going to find a group called Techniques. In the Techniques, menu 4 is going to be what are called stacking stitches. Notice that they are grouped together as pairs. So as you select a stitch, you will pick your stitch within that pair, start to sew, and I am going to move this because you can't really see the beginning point. Remember, you can move these little menus around, especially when you want to leave this area open and peek at the stitch in its entirety. Sometimes I'll move that down and out of the way. Even the edit stitch, I could close that down just a little bit to give you more visibility of what we're talking about. All right, so here's how this would go. Notice this is a maxi stitch, so it's a bigger stitch, which I love because it really lets you fill in more area, kind of more bang for your buck. And that's all without getting your embroidery module out. You can do the stitches and play with them. Okay, so you'll sew one of them. A lot of times I'll change color. Then you notice where the plus is, that very first stitch. Each stitch is paired perfectly so that when you start the second stitch at the same stitch, they will stitch right on top of each other, perfectly interweaving themselves. I would practice, meaning give yourself a little bit of practice so you know how a stitch is supposed to be. Sometimes when you sew one stitch, that's no problem. It's sewing the second stitch over the bumpiness of the first stitch that you might actually kind of need to help the fabric kind of stay equal so that each place where one pattern repeats over the next, you are lining it up at the kind of the same point. So as you stitch one repeat, they're at the same point, the second one. So it doesn't start to get off a little at a time. You get to the end and all your stitches are not as paired up as pretty. Okay, so for example, let's look at this one. Cute little leaves. You can kind of see that the flowers are going to be opposite the leaves. So that'd be another way. As you're sewing them, you want to make sure that they're still staying equidistant away from the leaf as they keep going down. But look at all these fun stitches. Here's the one that I did on the fabric you see here. There's kind of the ladder or trellis and then the little vine going along it. But can you imagine taking some of the decorative stitches that you have found that you've loved and seeing what stitch could be beautifully added on top of it, say with another color. So this will give you like some inspiration. Oh, this one's fun because there's a center line and then you do that one but with the same center line. There's a little needle and thread and then it goes back with little, it almost looks, pins. I was going to say knitting needles, but that wouldn't make sense. Little pins in between your needle and thread. Some fun other ones. The fish eating the fish, that one's always kind of cute to do, but you can go through and see all these. And they're usually the bigger ones. So we have, there we have some cat and some yarn and some more fun trees and trellis. And ooh, that one's really big. So I hope you'll try out some of your stacked stitches and let us know which one is your favorite, especially if you can integrate it into one of your future projects. Maybe your Stitching Cosmos quilt needs a little additional stitches now that you have the Pfaff Creative Icon 2. You will definitely benefit by trying these out and then explore those decorative stitches and try stacking your own group of stitches together. If you're looking for more tutorials on the Pfaff Creative Icon, we've got links below where you can start from the very beginning and binge watch all the sewing videos first and the embroidery videos second. I hope you'll check out all the free information that we've provided for you for mastering your beautiful Pfaff Creative Icon 2.